Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Spencer. I've been a Subaru mechanic for about a year now. I keep meaning to start a channel, but I never record any videos. So here we go, first one. This is one of my many projects. This is a 1997 Outback. It has a 6-inch Anderson Design and Fabrication lift kit on it. It's got 4-inch subframe spacers, 1.5-inch raised king springs, got some big mud tires on it, and for the last few months I've been busy 6-cylinder swapping it. It's got a H6 out of a 2008 Outback, the EZ30R. So it has, see the solenoids here, it's got variable valve timing on the intake, and it also has variable lift. Yeah, this is the project. I have it in here today because last week I added some exhaust onto here. I had been driving with it just ending up there underneath the transmission. When I say driving, I mean I've taken it out probably 10 times. This has definitely not been a daily vehicle by any means. It doesn't have any power right now. But last week I added this on. I ran out of exhaust clamps, so I just ended it here and figured it'd be fine. I did not do anything with the tune, nor did I put any kind of heat shield on, and I caught my rear subframe on fire. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced, but fortunately, due to fast thinking and good friends, I managed to get it put out. They came running down with 2 fire extinguishers, and we got it put out before it got too bad. My spring back here is a little roasty. Right as my friend showed up, flames were shooting up the side to about here. Not a fun feeling watching your car burn to the ground. And I'm so thankful that it did not actually burn to the ground. It was just minimal damage. So I have it in the shop today to do more of the exhaust, put more of it on. I just bought more parts, more exhaust clamps. And hopefully today I can I'm just going to replace this whole trailing arm because I have an entire extra rear subframe. And same with this differential cross member here. I'm just going to replace the whole thing. I know that the fuel line's up under there. I don't know if you can see them though, right there maybe. Those are completely shot, so I'm going to have to fix those. And I swear I saw some wiring burning when it was on fire. Hopefully it's nothing too major and I can get all of that taken out. But yeah, here's the car. Can't really get a good angle in here. Yeah, there it is. It's been my project for a year and a half now. Well, got her in the air. Here's an initial assessment of the damage. That bushing is shot. There's a rubber spacer that's supposed to go here also. That's gone. This bushing on the trailing arm is shot. Here's some melted plastic here. Hopefully that's not too terrible. I think, oh yeah, it's this whole plastic cover. Oh man, the whole thing is gone. So that whole plastic cover is gone. It's just like a dust cover. That doesn't really matter. I probably won't replace that. Here are my fuel lines. Here's one of them that came off. It's not really how your fuel lines are supposed to look. So I'll be replacing those 3. And then it looks like the only wiring is this ABS sensor. And we got plenty of those upstairs. So fortunately the damage is pretty minimal. I think I can probably get this all fixed and start it tonight. Be able to start the engine tonight. I just went and bought some more parts at O'Reilly's. You can see this camera's just way too up close to show anything. This right here is where the exhaust is supposed to go, stock from the factory. It routes through here and goes up into this bigger cavity. It's like a jump up because of the subframe spacers. but it'll go up here, and then it's supposed to exit the bumper in the back. As you can see right now, the exhaust is way not in the right place. So I just bought two 45s at O'Reilly's. I'm gonna move this mid pipe further up and have it more like right here. And then I'm gonna run a 45 this way. Too close. I'll run a 45 this way, and then another one to like correct it so it'll have a little zigzag right here. And then it'll run along this drive shaft and go straight into that heat shield tunnel like it's supposed to. As far as the cause of the fire, my O2 sensor is right here, and before this was the end of the exhaust. So it was way too close to get an accurate reading, and it kept reading way more air than it should. Therefore, the standalone, I'm running a Speedy EFI Fish Dog standalone ECU. It was sensing too much air, so it was drowning the engine in fuel in order to compensate. Now, before I put this exhaust on, when it just ended right here, it was fine. It would just splatter out. You can kind of see the stains here underneath, kind of. It was just, extra gas was just coming out, and it was no big deal. It was just, you know, falling on the ground, falling on the car. Yeah, I know that's not great, but it wasn't harming anything on the vehicle. After putting all of this in and putting in a cat, the cat was then heating up all of that extra gas and basically just turned it into a flamethrower that was aimed directly at my suspension. Yeah, I did not think that one through at all, and I suffered the consequences. Fortunately, I was able to catch it before it got too bad, and this so far all looks perfectly fixable. I found the wide angle feature on my phone. That's much better. So I've started on this differential subframe here. I had just like metal wire wrapped around here on both sides to keep the e-brake cables in place. I just cut those off. There is this plate. I took this off already. This goes right here. Yeah, right there. You gotta take that off. Then there are 4 nuts and 4 bolts that come out, and that little plate comes out. Additionally, there are bolts here and here that come out. So this piece is technically not bolted in anymore. However, there's these little plates, and these two have to come out on either side, at least loosened up so that there's play in here, so you get this whole thing out. I know that I have a lift kit on here, but the procedure is going to be the same if you're working on a regular car to get those out. I went ahead and put a jack stand under here, underneath this differential, because it's not actually bolted in. I left the drive line attached. Hopefully I don't have to take it out. I might have to take it out. It's no big deal. It's just a few bolts, but I'm hoping I can leave that in there. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I got the differential subframe out. This is what a bushing is supposed to look like. And that's what this one looks like. Here's the centerpiece for it. It's all like gooey because they're actually like gel filled. But this is supposed to be in there. I lowered the differential as far as I could. And there was enough room in the drive line. And there was enough room in here that I didn't have to unbolt these at all. And I managed to kind of get the whole thing sideways and then twist it out of here. I did have to take the exhaust shield off, but I got it out. And now to grab the parts one from outside and put it back in. I got the subframe from the parts outside. You can see they're the same. This one that I'm installing is off of a 96 Legacy Postal. It's a right-hand drive vehicle. It had the 2.2 liter engine in it. From what I've been told, these little things, I don't know what to call them, they're only on 2.5 liter vehicles, and they are a vibration dampener. The 2.2 liters didn't have the same vibration issues, so they didn't have them. That's just what I've been told. I don't know. I haven't done any research myself. But this one out of the car, which originally had a 2.5 liter, obviously now it has a 3 liter 6-cylinder. But it has them on there, and they just bolt on. And there were already holes in this subframe, so I'm going to go ahead and just switch them over. I also grabbed another trailing arm from outside. I'm gonna have to take the bracket off because with this lift kit I have custom brackets. Yeah, just gotta get this stuff swapped over and stick it up and in there, and then I need to find some fuel lines and ABS sensor. Oh, yum. Nothing like charred fuel line. So now I just need to find some fuel line to put back in there. We have a bunch of intake manifolds that I can take stuff off of. We have a bunch of parts cars outside, so I'll go poke around and see what I can find. I pulled these hoses off of a 2009 GT sedan parts car that we have outside. This is one of the burnt sections of hose that I brought out to size up. And these are about the same length. Should at least be close enough. I just need to cut these end connections off, and then they should be suitable replacement. I only made a small mess. There is the new fuel lines. There's the evap. I believe it's engine with return on top. It could be the other way. But either way, I made sure they're all connected the way they were connected before, so I should have no issues there. I don't think I'm going to have a replacement grommet, so I'll just have to RTV that. And now I got to find an ABS wire. Here's the damage inside the car. It's a little crisp around here. This is kind of a little crunchy. That's where the ABS sensor was. Here's the top side of that rubber grommet. You can see light around all of the lines going through there. So I'll just RTV around that and it should be good and waterproof. Here is the old ABS sensor. What's left of it. It's pretty melted in here. So I'm going to head upstairs and try and find a replacement. Ah, yes, the rat's nest. Just got to dig through here. We have anything from whenever ABS was first installed. I believe that was the early 90s. We have stuff all the way up to like 2015 in here. So I'll be digging for a moment here. Well, what do you know? That took all of about 15 seconds. I just matched up the plugs, made sure that they were the same. I made sure that these bend the same way because they're different from left to right. These end pieces look the same. So yeah, there's my sensor. Got the rear end all put together here. Got the new differential subframe in place. All bolted in. I put the parking brake cables above this time. When I first put the lift kit in, they were routed below, which caused a pretty bad angle right here. You can kind of see it starting. It's really low light. It had started to wear through this case on both sides. And so I moved it up so that won't happen anymore. Fuel lines are replaced. This is replaced. I found another rubber spacer to put right there. There is actually supposed to be a gap. I know it looks weird, but that's how it's supposed to be. I got the new trailing arm in place. Put the ABS sensor in place. I need to zip tie those wires out of the way. And then I'm gonna go ahead. There's a secondary fuel level sender on this side of the tank. And since there was a lot of flames going up there, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the cover for it and inspect it. Make sure there's nothing melted up top. Hopefully there isn't, but I am kind of worried with just how burnt it is that it might have heated up and messed up the sender or the wires or something. Here I am inside the car looking at this sender over here. I had a bunch of stuff out, or I have a bunch of stuff in the car and I didn't want to take it out. So I just propped this up with some 2x4s and I used a stubby screwdriver to get the screws out of here. You can see, here's the hose, here's the wires. They're definitely very crisp, but I don't see any exposed wire. You can kind of see in there. I just put a scope all the way down and in there, and the wiring runs over to that side, which is good. The flames were mostly under here, so being back here, I can tell that it did get hit. They're definitely crispy, but nothing too concerning. I don't think I need to repair anything there. It should all be pretty smooth sailing. Well, hopefully that'll do the trick. I just put a whole bunch of RTV just all over this gasket. Filled in all the cracks and then just put plenty on top. I'm going to smooth it out a little bit with my finger to make it look a little better, make sure it's all bonded to itself. But I don't think I'll have any water running through there. Should be good to go. Here's where I'm at so far. I've moved this coupler back here. I had to wrestle with these two 45s for a while, but I got them moved over here. As you can see, that's much closer to the tunnel and almost a straight shot to the back. So now it's just a matter of measuring, cutting, and getting the rest of it all hooked up here. All right, I got the exhaust all in place here. Got the 45s, got the cat, got a resonator, and it goes back here to 290s, and then the tiny little muffler. When this thing caught fire, it got so hot it actually destroyed this muffler. You can see all those holes because around the outside is all full of fiberglass. And that all melted and chunks have been coming out. So I think this thing's pretty much shot. I'm gonna have to get another one. Fortunately, I only paid like 35 bucks or 40 bucks for it on Amazon or something like that. So I'm not out too much money. Also, this is hanging down right now. I'm not finished. All the clamps are just loose on here for right now. I'm about to tighten everything, but I put everything up first to make sure it's all the correct length and fitment and everything. I put up some temporary wire just to hang it on in a few places. Got some more right here and some more right by the cat. Just to help hold it up while I get it all measured and figured out. And then once I tighten everything, I'll put some more bracing with wire and stuff. The reason why I'm using so many exhaust clamps is that, regrettably, I do not know how to weld. I would like to learn how to weld because I like to be able to do this stuff on my own. So instead, for now, I'm stuck with exhaust clamps. Hopefully I can get my boss or my coworker to weld this up proper in a few days, but for now, this'll get me by. This'll get it done for now. And I'm not gonna drive it at all until I do more tuning. But hopefully, in theory, with the exhaust exiting at the back of the vehicle instead of right here, I won't catch anything on fire. However, with how much it is overfueling with the current tune, I am worried that this catalytic converter is still going to get very hot. So I'm going to see if I can't rig another piece of heat shielding in here for it. Hopefully, once I get the tuning figured out. if I can get the tuning figured out, it won't be overfueling anymore, and there won't be any orange hot catalytic converters anymore. That's the hope. I'm gonna go ahead and get all of this tightened up, and I'll show you the finished result. All right, got all the exhaust in place. Got it all clamped up. Everything's tight. Added some wire for support. Eventually I'll weld, or have someone weld, proper hangers to use all the stock hanging, mounting locations. Places like here, they have these rubber hanger bushing things that go on there. I'll get that eventually, but for now, this will work, and hopefully, well, it shouldn't catch anything on fire. I don't want to jinx anything. I just primed the fuel pump a few times. I'm just doing a visual inspection. I don't see anything dripping. Trying to check those fuel lines. Everything looks good. Everything looks dry. I'm gonna try and fire it up. Bit of a squeeze to get in here. It's all a mess right now because it's still a work in progress. Down here is where the stock ECU would be. I have a bunch of wiring there now. This box right here is the Speedy EFI fish dog that is now running this engine. Here's my AFR gauge. Let's see if I can get this thing to start. It's alive! Well, folks, that's it for today. This will be the end of my first video. Welcome to the channel, and I can't promise that I'm going to have regular content at all because it has been 2.5 years that I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel, and I'm finally doing it. So maybe you'll see me a lot, maybe you won't see me for 2.5 years. I'd like to try and share my projects. This is a really fun car. It's been a lot of fun. Just learning a bunch of stuff on it. I did drive it. I did daily drive it for a while when I still had the 4-cylinder in it, and it just had no power and was just terrible to drive, which is why I put the 6-cylinder in. But now it's been undrivable due to the amount of tuning that it needs. So hopefully with a full exhaust on there, tuning will be, it'll be a breeze, and we'll go from there. Peace.